All right, welcome back to the Full Measures podcast. It's been quite some time. Been very
hmm
busy. Became a dad, and that's kept me kind of away from social media. Very busy, but doing the podcast is definitely something that I still want to do, and hopefully now, I think life's calm enough where I can get back to a weekly schedule. Because I know I've had a lot of people in my comments ask me when's the podcast coming back. So I think it's safe to say I think we're back now for good. Every week, at least one
Yes.
episode. It's a lot of
Yes.
good stuff that's been going on, man. So let's just hop right into it. So, Wyatt, what have you kind of been watching over the last 3 months while we've been kind of on break?
Over time, I've been rewatching Breaking Bad. I've
W
been binging all the Martin Scorsese movies.
episode on that
I've started,
coming.
yeah, yes, yes, and I've started Gen V, the
Okay,
new The Boys spinoff.
how do you like it so far?
Oh, I'm enjoying it. I still have two episodes that I haven't watched. I need to catch up, but and I've just been watching comedy movies here and there.
Okay, good, good, nice, nice.
Yeah.
Well, I've been watching mainly. I haven't been able to go out, so I haven't seen any new movie in theaters. But I've been watching a lot of good shows. Some I just finished up, like Reservation Dogs, Winning Time, which it's a shame it got canceled. Heels, it's a shame it got canceled. Master Chef, I love that show. Love Gordon Ramsay. One of the best reality shows of all time came back. I don't know if you know Kitchen Nightmares. Have you ever seen it?
Oh yeah, yeah. I was watching it. Yeah.
Dude, I'm
That's
so
another thing
happy.
I've been watching.
Dude, that show is so good. Even I don't know how
It
much of it is
is.
BS, but I love Kitchen Nightmares. Shut it down.
Oh,
Um, Unfortunately, I watched Ahsoka, which was absolute garbage, and maybe we'll talk about this in the future. But I also watched The Leftovers, which is something that my followers had been telling me to watch for quite some time.
that's right. The Leftovers is good. I enjoyed that show.
So, besides the ice cream truck, you hear that?
I don't hear it.
Besides the shows we're gonna talk about later, is there anything kind of notable that you really enjoyed? I mean, you mentioned you were watching Martin Scorsese, right? What are some of the films you
Yes.
watched recently in your binge that you had never seen before?
Okay.
Don't get too
So
into it just quick, because we got a whole episode on discussing Martin
yes.
and all that stuff.
Yeah. So the ones that I've watched recently that I've never watched, like I've watched for the first time, were Aviator, Raging Bull, King of Comedy, The Departed, which people were
What?
surprised I never watched The Departed. I
What?
never watched it.
You mean
I loved it though.
the Departed?
Yeah, The Departed. Um, I watched for the first time Silence and Shutter Island.
I have not seen Silence. How was Silence?
Oh, it was peak. It was peak.
Really?
Same with The Aviator.
You
Very
seen
good.
you
I
seen
haven't watched a single bad Martin Scorsese movie yet.
you know what what's a hot take? I think
What?
The Departed is his worst movie.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's one of the most poorly edited movies. Like, the editing in that movie is so weird. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of videos break it down, but for example, the beginning, you don't get a sense of time of how long they were in the academy. Did you know Leo DiCaprio
Yeah.
was in jail for years?
Really?
Yeah, but you don't get a sense of that. And everything with Matt Damon and his ascension up
Yeah.
into becoming a detective, that was years long. But
Oh wow.
yeah, I don't know. I and this
It
is
just goes on like seconds.
it's this is just splitting hairs. But when you're as good as Marty, it's kind of you kind of have to. But I honestly
Yeah.
I think The Departed is probably one of his worst films too, because the love triangle sucks, dude. With
Oh yeah.
it's not good. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. I used to have a whole spiel about it, but it's still peak. I love that movie. It's actually my
Yeah.
second favorite Marty movie, but I think it's his worst. You know what I mean? It's weird, but
You still have some that you have to watch, don't you?
I have a lot that I need to watch. But my favorite Marty movie, probably one of my favorite movies ever, is Goodfellas.
Oh yeah. Goodfellas is peak.
Yeah,
You
that
need to watch. Well, have you watched The Aviator?
not since I was a kid. I don't remember anything about it.
Oh my god. I watched that last night for the first time. Very good. I'm not even gonna say anything about it. I'm just gonna say very good.
Okay, anything else besides your Marty binge?
Not really. Just I've finally been rewatching Breaking Bad for I think the 10th or 11th time. I've lost
W.
count.
I haven't hit double
Yeah,
digits yet, dude.
damn.
I know, slacking. For me, I mean, obviously, I'm going to talk about it later, but Res Dogs, Winning Time was really good, man. You don't even need to be
Yeah,
a basketball fan to enjoy Winning Time. It was so damn entertaining, man. It's a shame it got
I
canceled.
I need
Um,
to start that one, and I need to finish Res Dogs.
Res Dogs is so good. Where are you in Res Dogs?
I'm like at the end of season one.
Yeah, season one is like the weakest season. The thing is like the first episode or two, I don't know. I wasn't feeling it, but it's like when they start doing like those individual stories, like with individual characters, where it gets really good.
Yeah,
And season three, dude, I cried so many times watching that damn show. It's so good, dude. Um, yeah, no, I mean, Master Chef. This new season was pretty great. Ahsoka was just a nightmare. Leftovers was really good. People have been telling me to watch it for a long time, but man, that third season was just really good. I mean, you've seen it, right?
yeah,
When's the last time you
yeah,
watched
yeah.
it?
I've watched it. I watched it like at the beginning of. Well, no, I think it was at the end of last year,
Okay,
like
so
towards the end of
oh,
2022.
so it's
Yeah,
recent.
yeah.
Yeah, that. What was your favorite moment in the leftovers?
Definitely Matt's confrontation with the fake
Dude,
god.
same man. Oh my gosh, that was. I mean, Matt was my favorite character, but his
Mine
conversation
too.
with God, man, was just so good, dude. It.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I just yeah that I think the show's good, but I do think some people overrate it because I don't know how you feel about the first season, but I do think the first season is not
The
like
first season, I couldn't. The first like 3 episodes, I could almost not. I couldn't even get through them. Like
yeah the
it
the
was too
story
slow.
the storyline with the weird black dude. What was his name?
Oh yeah, that hugging
Simon.
guy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Just god awful. Everything
yeah.
with what was it Michael right his son or no who's the main character's name?
I think I don't remember. It's been a while.
I know. But everything with his son was god awful. Everything with his daughter was just terrible. And then the love
Yeah.
story. Oh, it's Matt. The love story between Matt and Nora. It came out
Hmm.
of nowhere because they meet in season one, and then towards the end of season one, she leaves him that letter. Like maybe we could have fallen in love with this. I was like, where did this even come from? Like they met a couple times. It was
Yeah.
like I think it was just it was not good. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. But like seasons two and three, man, international what is it? International Assassin was so good.
So
Um,
good.
what do you
The
think?
episode completely dedicated to Matt,
Which
like
one?
our favorite character. That episode was
Well, there's a
so
couple.
good.
Which one?
I I don't remember. I think it was in season three. It
Well,
was when he was trying to get his wife back into the
oh my
what was the
god,
place called?
yeah,
Yeah, that episode.
dude,
I loved that episode.
everything with Matt is just so good, dude. But
Yes.
you know what was crazy? That conversation with God is like, you didn't do it because you're a righteous man. You did it because you thought I was watching you the whole time and judging. I was like, damn, like that hurt, dude. And you could tell a lot of people are
Yeah.
like that, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's the
Anyways,
truth.
not to spend too much time on it. Maybe we'll talk about it in a different episode. But no, yeah, man. Leftovers was really good. Shout out to this little dude named Andreas. He kept telling me to watch it. It's a really good show. I mean, season three, I think's up there with some of the best TV I've ever seen, dude. Um,
Yeah.
Overall, if I had to rank the show, I don't know, maybe in my top 30, top 20, I don't know, but definitely not like my top 10. I don't think it. Season one is too weak for it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not. It doesn't go that far.
yeah. So, okay, being on the topic of of kind of what we've been watching. So it's been a long year. I feel like we're kind of like in limbo right now, where some of the best shows already ended, and there's not
Yes.
really a whole lot of peak out right now, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm excited for the boys season 4.
I don't think that's coming this year.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so. But it just feels like we don't have like that big cultural moment
Yeah.
or cultural show where everybody's talking about it. The Bear's over, Succession is over, Barry, Ted Lasso.
Hmm.
So with that being said, while we wait for the next peak, which is probably House of the Dragon, The Bear season 3, Severance season 2, What are like two underrated shows that you watched this year that like you would recommend to people?
Well, first of all, I'd have to go with Warrior.
W.
It's intense. It's got intense, fun action, many in-depth and interesting characters. You know, you got Lee, Sam, Bill, Young Jun. That show is peak. I don't think I've had like a boring moment watching that,
Nope.
except for with
Nope.
that one lady. What's her name? They completely cut her out. I forgot her name.
Oh, Assam's main squeeze that got written off.
Yeah,
Basically put her
yeah,
in
yeah.
the
She
crazy
was.
home.
But other than that,
She got done dirty.
that was one show that I actually looked forward to like every single day
Dude, me too.
to just watch.
Just
Um,
before you go on, we talked about this in a different one, but you know the recording was messed up.
yeah,
Some of the best action you'll see in television, where
dude, I love the
okay.
action.
Look, I don't want to go off into a tangent,
Hmm.
but John Wick got a spinoff,
Yeah,
called the Continental, and it's just I'm having trouble watching it. I'm gonna be honest with you. The action is so subpar, the storytelling, the characters, and I'm not trying to go off here, but like, but then
hmm,
you watch a show like Warrior with the action, the characters, how it's all so well put together, and it wasn't from some pre-existing IPO. This was its. I
yeah.
mean, it's based on probably some history, but you know, generally, it's its own thing, and it's
Mhm.
so good. It's so compelling. The action is top notch. Like this is something that could come out of a martial arts, like a high budget kung fu movie.
Yeah, you could tell they put heart into this
The
show. Like,
stunt work. You know the
and considering how small it was, I don't know how small it was during season one, but I never heard of it until you told me to watch it.
I don't know
So
how I
like,
stu- I just saw it on my HBO Max home screen,
yeah,
and I was like, well, I'll check it out, and it was really really good. I mean, like I talked about it before, where all the characters started off kind of like as stereotypes. You know, the
mhm,
cold, silent badass, the crooked cop, the racist
yeah,
Irishman, but they all over time have become such rich, wonderful, and like complex characters. Man, all of them, the entire cast.
yeah.
It's just such a great show. But anyways, sorry, I just wanted to expand on it because it's so good, dude.
It is good. It might be. I don't know about top 10. Probably top 20. Definitely top 20. I think
That you've ever seen?
for yeah. Out of all the shows I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot of shows, but I think that's probably top 20 for me. My second underrated show would have to be of this year would have to be This Fool. It's just they have such good comedy writing along with its serious undertones. I don't think that's another show. Like I don't think there's a moment I got bored watching that show.
No, man, it's funny from start to finish, and while you don't have to be Mexican American or Latino to enjoy it, if you are,
Yeah,
you just love it that much more. It's really like a
yeah,
show for the culture,
exactly.
man. It's something that like I used to think like the term representation is kind of lame, but then you finally get representation and you're like, damn man, this feels nice to see our stories told on screen. You know, our own little struggles,
Yeah,
our own quirks, our own little weirdness, like mom stealing stuff from work and bringing it home and making us use it
yeah,
as.
exactly.
Dude, or like like at times the way she would talk, I'm like, bro, that's my mom right there, or that's my
Yeah,
uncle,
it's very authentic, and it's written by like the main actor
Yeah, and the
of the
entire
show.
cast, man, is so good. But I think I could be wrong here, but I'm getting vibes of like the next big star, in his cousin, uh, what's his name? I think his real name is Frankie in real life. But yeah, the guy who plays his cousin fresh out of prison, that guy, man,
Yeah,
I feel like he
I
has
love
something.
that guy, man.
I think he
Yes.
could end up being like the next. Like you remember? Did you ever watch Get Out?
Get Out. Yes, I have watched Get Out.
You remember the guy who works for the TSA, the best friend?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He that movie launched his career, right? Like
Hmm.
he's getting cast in so many movies and shows, because of how strong his performance was in Get Out, how good he was.
Yeah, that guy's
I get the
hilarious.
same vibes. His name's Lil Rel. I get the same vibes from this guy Frankie. Like I think he could be like the next big thing in comedy movies. Like he's that good. Um,
I agree. He's probably my favorite character in that show.
there's so
No,
many.
no, probably not even probably,
No,
definitely.
he
He's
is.
my favorite. Yeah.
But the crazy part is like this show presents stereotypes not because it's trying to be mean, but stereotypes are real. They exist for a
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah, they
And
do.
he is a stereotype, an ex gangbanger, fish out of prison, ignorant, a loser. But like he
Mhm.
grows, man. And
Yeah.
I love how the show from season 1 to season 2, where you have the main character and his cousins stop on opposite ends, but by the end of season 1, start of season 2, they've completely shifted, where now he has his life together, he has a job, but the one who was looking down on him, he's a loser with no job, no girl, just like a,
Nothing.
and
Yeah. He's
the
just giving up.
yep, and the show deals with really real things, man, like depression, like self-loathing, and the show gets real sometimes, but
Mm.
it also shows like how afraid we are of like getting help, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fact. Like, because you don't look strong, you're getting help.
Yeah, and but we talk about character growth, where the most stubborn person of the show, by the end of season 2, he finally steps
Mm.
into the therapist office at the very end, you
Yep,
know.
I
And
love that.
I love that, man. Like these characters start off really one note, and I'm not gonna lie, like I hated the main character for a while. He just got so annoying. Like, Jesus, dude, can't you just be happy? But there's so
Yeah,
many people like that, dude, that are just miserable all the time, and they refuse to allow any form of good thing into their life. Kind of like Carmi from The Bear, we talked about that, where he just can't allow something good in
exactly.
his life to
Yes,
happen. And that's how I feel
yes,
the main character played by Chris Estrada is like, it feels so real. Like, a lot of these characters are, at times, they're kind of exaggerated versions of real people, but like when you really look at them, the traits that they have are so real, you know?
yeah. I mean, I could relate most of the time when I'm watching that show.
Yeah.
And like, I think the show is severely like underrated because I never hear anything. I've never see anything. Like, I couldn't even find a video of the intro on YouTube because I love the intro, like
Yeah.
just the song that they play on this fool.
Yeah, and like I love watching people review things, right? That I love. And it was
Yeah,
hard to find any reviews on the show. Like it's so low key, but it's been like a huge hit, at least critically. Like the critics love it,
yes,
the fans love it, and I'm hoping for a season 3, man, because it really is. It's the best comedy by far on television right now. Like
yeah, man. Too many things are getting canceled.
yeah, it's unmatched, and of course, bro. Like the one of my favorite parts of the show is Michael Imperioli, man. He's so good.
I love them, man.
E-
Yeah.
Everything with his huge dong is just funny as hell, dude. Like, and then I like how they got the guest star, was it Bill Pullman? You know who Bill Pullman is, right? You seen
I
Independence
don't.
Day, the president?
I've never seen it.
No, Bill Pullman is a legend, bro, and I love that he was the guy who wrote the review on the coffee shop,
Oh yeah, yeah,
who had an
yeah, yeah.
even bigger dick than Michael Imperioli.
Yeah.
Dude, that show is so funny, bro. And like I said though, like the way it deals with depression, bro. Like how Michael Imperioli's character is like trying to kill himself all the time, basically. Like it's super
Mhm.
sad, dude. You see him how low these guys get, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a good show, man. That's a great pick.
And that's another thing I wanted to point out is that how comedy could make a show a lot more like entertaining. Because a lot of times when I'm watching like a drama show, like
They're
it'll
hard to
start to
watch.
drag. Yeah, I'll find myself like getting distracted. I have to back it up. I'm like because I hate missing anything. I can't stand it. So anytime I find myself getting distracted, I instantly look back at the TV and I just back it up.
But that's
But
one of
with
the.
comedy shows, I'm never getting distracted because it's just funny.
But here's the thing, though. That's such a tough balancing act of
Yeah,
having comedy, but being able to introduce dramatic elements.
yeah.
Because you look at a show like Barry, and that started off as a
Mhm.
comedy show with dramatic elements, but it's slowly morphed into a drama with
Into like a
some
drama.
comedy.
Yeah,
And the thing with this fool is that it's definitely more comedy than drama. It has dramatic
hmm,
undertones here and there, but the way it sticks 100% to its comedic values, but is still able to slip in these like themes of depression, of self-loathing, of
yeah,
self-hatred. Like the way it slips it in and makes it, I want to say, tolerable, because to watch these things in a drama is hard. No one wants to
yeah,
see someone who's self-destructive, right? But
Yeah, for real.
when you can show the humor in self destruction, which is a terrible thing to say, like you
It
know,
is.
but when you can make it enjoyable to watch, like it's really hard to do that. To find
It
because
is. Yeah.
it's really hard to find comedy in like your worst moments. That's what comedians are
Yeah.
for, you know.
That reminds me of like when you were saying like the episode Breaking Bad's down is like one of your lowest rated episodes just because it's hard to
The one
watch.
with
Like
Jesse,
the episode, yeah, where
he's just having
he's
the
pretty
worst
much
day of his
kicked out
life,
of his house. Yeah, but
dude.
I actually love that episode.
I can't watch that. I every time I watch it, dude, because like I don't like skipping episodes. But every
Yeah,
time I watch it, dude, I'm just like on my phone. Like I just want it to be over because it is so depressing to watch. And there's not even like I mean maybe there's a couple jokes in there, but
mm,
it's just too much, dude. It's too much.
yeah. But I think it's like the first episode you actually get like depth in Jesse. Like before that, he's just kind of like a comedic character who shows up and like says "Yo,
Maybe,
bitch." But
but
like that episode, you start to sympathize with him. You
yeah.
know?
But like I said,
Yeah.
like that's what makes this fool so good is like it helps you laugh at like life's
Mhm.
biggest problems and like you know a lot of these issues like it's not just to the Mexican community, you know, everybody suffers from
Yeah.
depression or this or that, but it's the way that your culture handles these things that really
Mhm.
differentiates you, you know. And like
Yeah.
you know being depressed, like I know growing up like we say like that's white people shit, you know, being depressed, you know, what does that even mean, you know,
You
or
can't
your
do that.
parents like, you know, if you want therapy like this is the white people
We don't have
shit, dude.
time for any of that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, what do we need to tell people our problems for, you know? But the show actively shows you that if you seek help and you get it, you can really turn your life around. And I
Mhm.
really like that. But it's not like shoving these messages down your throat, you know?
Yeah.
And the show doesn't feel like it's pandering.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like I'm being told what's right, what's wrong. It's just this is life and this is how it goes. You know,
Exactly.
this is life in LA, man.
Yeah. Two of the best comedy episodes I've ever watched were Clyde and Clyde,
Dude, those
part
are
one and part
so
two.
funny, bro.
I loved those two episodes. I was on the edge of my seat pretty much the entire time.
I miss you and your big dick. See, that is her. And then and then like how she was texting him too, like, oh, you know, I miss your big dick, like. And then when she exposes him, she's like, don't listen to her, fool. She doesn't know what, or we know what we have. Like it's so
Yeah.
funny. And then like the cop with the overtime, and I love how they brought that back at the end of the season where he ended up dying. They murdered him because of the overtime.
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of sad,
Yeah,
to be honest. That
but
part was
no, dude,
sad.
those two episodes were so funny, man. Like there's just so
Oh yeah.
entertaining, dude. But yeah, so I mean, anything else you want to add to your two shows?
Not really. I think we covered it all.
All right, so for
Now
me,
it's on to yours.
two really underrated shows as we kind of talked about it is Reservation Dogs. You're not as far as
Yes.
me, but dude, and I feel very confident in saying this, and I've seen Superbad. I've
Mhm.
seen, you know, and I consider Superbad to be like a masterpiece. Without a doubt, Reservation Dogs is the greatest coming of age story of all time that I have ever seen. Any movie, any show, any book. Never before have I seen like a better coming of age, becoming an adult, learning life lessons like
Yeah.
Reservation Dogs, man. It the emotional journey that these characters go on, dude. It's hard to believe that like kids go through this, man. Like at this age, like dealing with loss, with suicide, someone taking their life, and you don't know why,
Yes.
and you feel like they abandoned you. To an episode you haven't gotten to, but when someone you love passes away, how to deal with grief, how family comes together. Like this show deals a lot with family, with community, with love, with
Mhm.
depression, with passing down traditions. Like
Yeah.
it's beautiful, man.
Struggles.
Struggles, and I love. I really, you know, I'm starting to come around on it. Like I think I was just caught up in the toxic wave on the internet of like, oh, you know, representation and woke. Like this show is by no means woke, but it's beautiful to see Native American people get their own stories told, you know? Life on the
Yeah.
reservation, what that's like, what life looks like there, what the people look like. It feels so authentic, man.
Yeah. It was very interesting to watch because, I'm not like part of that community, so it even makes it even more interesting.
Yeah.
Like how we were saying, like even like how we're talking about for this fool, it's like about our kind of community of people, but like it makes it even more interesting if you're not part of it
No,
to watch it.
I love being an outsider to people's like
Yeah,
just world. Like that's why I like traveling, man. I like being an outsider, learning other people's
me too.
cultures, and like that's why I
Yes.
love watching like black shows. I've seen some Indian shows now, like
Hmm.
Like India, not how people
Yeah.
call natives Indians.
Yeah.
I've seen Native Americans now, like and have their own shows, and like no, it's a beautiful thing, man, to see them represented. But no, yeah, Reservation Dogs, man, it's like you see you see how different generations develop because as the show goes on, especially in season 2, man, and season 3, it's not only the kids that are teenagers, young adults that you get
Yeah.
stories with, but you start getting stories from the older cast, like the cop,
Yeah.
Bear's mother, Bear's, you know, the older generation, the original Reservation Dogs, which are all old now and they're all jaded. Their relationships are fragmented, and it just, dude, it. I can't express how good this show is, man, and how beautiful and just heartwarming and touching it is. Like this show, dude, had me crying like at 3 in the morning, dude, with my son in my arms, just like tears streaming down. Like it's just,
I can't wait to get back into that show, man.
dude. So
Because I was really enjoying it. I don't know, I fell off because I got busy, but I'm gonna get back into it.
there was an episode where, um, I don't know, someone meets their real father, and
Yeah.
damn, dude, that episode just, I just was crying the entire time, man, because it was just really heartbreaking to watch, but at the same time, it's like really happy. It's like a weird emotion, man, but it feels real. And all these
Yeah.
kids, man, like I remember growing up being, and it feels weird because like it's not like I'm an old man. I'm 28, but like, dude, there's a big difference in your life from 17 to 27, dude. Like it's crazy to think, but just looking back, like on all the things I felt growing up, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, just Reservation Dogs is just, it's the best coming of age story of all time, man. Like I will wear that on my sleeve. It doesn't get better, and I need you to finish it, man, because it's gonna
I
be in
can't wait.
your, it might be in your top 6 of the year. I think I think it's in my top 5 of this year. Honestly, I might have to see. This is why we make lists, dude, because mine's
Yeah.
already gonna change again. Because Heels
Oh.
finished, that's gonna be in
Mhm.
my top 10, and then Res Dogs is probably gonna be in my top 5. So I have to bump something out. I don't know, dude. It's just this is damn, dude. Yeah,
We'll definitely talk about it in one of our next podcasts.
yeah,
Like, there's several things we need to talk about. We need to talk about Gen V.
yeah.
We need to talk about that. We need
Get
to
caught
talk
up.
about leftovers.
Get
Yes.
Martin
So
Scorsese.
Martin Scorsese, which will be our next podcast.
It might be a shorter episode. Yeah,
Yeah, like a mini sode.
yeah.
Okay.
Um, but no, man. Yeah, dude. It's just such a profoundly beautiful show, man. Where I just, it's one of those things you have to watch it to see it for yourself because I'm trying to find the words to describe like this show and what it is, what it means, but like the spirituality aspects of it. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
man. The comedy's funny, but the messages of, like I said, family, tradition, community coming together for the loss of loved ones, finding yourself, learning to get over grief, dealing with grief. It's just, yeah, dude, it's one of those shows that like I'll never forget, and I'm sad it's over, but thankfully the show wasn't canceled. They chose to end it after 3 seasons, so
We got its ending. That's
it
good.
did, man. It was a beautiful ending. I was crying again, bro. I don't know what to say,
Yep.
man. I'm just a bitch. Next show is Heels. Heels, man.
All right.
For any fans of professional wrestling, this is definitely a show you have to watch. It's about two brothers, running their own small promotion out of I think Georgia, and it just deals with the business, trying to grow their business. It's really the conflict of two
Right.
brothers fighting each other. It has great characters, and the season finale to season 2 was, oh my gosh, it felt like I was really watching a wrestling episode because all the twists and turns that happened, I didn't know they were happening, and it was insane.
Yeah.
And the way it ended, too bad it got canceled.
I'm a big fan of professional wrestling, so I'll have to get into it.
Yeah, man, it got canceled. I
Too
mean,
many. Why are things getting canceled, man?
it's just not enough viewership, man.
That's right.
Winning
That's
time was
true.
so good too, bro, but canceled. But
That's what worries me about this fool. Like, I hope they don't cancel that.
no, I think this show is actually a pretty big hit. I mean, just because you don't see
Is
people
it?
reviewing on YouTube doesn't mean it's not a
Yeah.
big hit. It's gonna get a season 3, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Stephen Amell, Arrow, is great. His brother, who played Ragnar's son in Vikings, is great. And it's
Mhm.
full of a wonderful cast of characters with the standout called Wild Bill Hancock. He's so good. A lot of these characters really go through a huge arc in the show, and it's really fun to watch. But like the wrestling matches are great. The drama of the
Yeah.
business is great. The characters are great. The setting, the pacing, like it's just a very, very well made show that deals again with, I think, like dealing with the loss of their father because their father commits suicide, and
Oh,
it
okay.
shows you how the father raised them differently. One son, he put all the expectations on him. You're the big star of the family. You're the athlete. You're gonna go pro. And another son put him in the sense of like you're not as good as your brother. We need to focus on him, and always kind of no matter what he did, he screwed up both kids, and they're both screwed up as adults. And like that's the main conflict of the show. Sure, it's about wrestling, but if you don't like wrestling, you're there for the drama between two brothers fighting each other, trying to make
Yeah.
peace, try in war, and it's really well done, man. It's really well done. Um, you
I'll
know,
definitely be checking it out.
yeah, and just to add a few more shows in there, if anybody wants something to watch this year, besides the obvious ones, obviously watch The Bear, watch
Mhm.
Succession, watch Barry, Ted Lasso. Um, Winning Time's a good one. Watch Winning Time. King of Tulsa earlier from this year, super dope
Yep.
show.
Very good.
Sylvester Stallone still got it. The Consultant, if you want like a thriller mystery show, it's a really cool show. Gen V, it's cool so far, man. So yeah. If you want to add anything else, no.
I can't think of none.
All right. So let's get into it. We talked
Villains.
about it. What are what are your top 5 greatest villains of all time? Let's go 5 to 1. You say you're 5,
5-1.
then I go 5, then 4, then 4. You get it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So
Okay,
who's your
so
fifth number 5 villain?
my number 5 villain, and these it was hard to choose like between them. They were switching back and forth.
Yeah, me
My
too.
number 5 is Lalo Salamanca.
Okay. You want to elaborate as to why?
I think he's a really good villain. I don't know if he has really like depth. He's just kind of like a very like mysterious, like exciting villain to watch. Like charming. Like sometimes I even found myself rooting for Lalo, which I
Yeah.
probably shouldn't have, but he's just fun to watch.
Gus Fring's kind of a bad dude, man.
Yeah, like that's why I had him at number 5 because I couldn't put him like above these other villains that actually have like I think character
Okay.
arcs and stuff and like development. Yeah.
Okay. For me, my number 5 is actually Gus Fring.
Oh
So,
man,
I mean,
number 5.
yeah, starting off strong with him at 5. Like for me, obviously, man, Gus Fring in Breaking Bad is just his battle with Walter White. It's one of the greatest things you'll ever witness in
Yeah.
movies or television. The performance and then the additional depth that we get with him in that episode, but then everything we get with him in Better Call Saul. The
And
conversation
he's
he
so
had,
chilling,
dude,
Giancarlo.
that
Like,
that conversation that he has with Hector passed out, right, when he talks about the kind thing would have
the
been to do was kill it, but like it shows you that
yes,
he takes his joy in revenge. He
yes,
lives for revenge. He salivates over it, and he will spend 30 years planning his revenge if it means he will make you suffer. um
hmm
One of the most diabolical people, maybe not in the sense like diabolical like he eats people like Hannibal or something, but he
yeah,
is evil the way he wanted to torture Hector, man. No, no, no.
yeah,
If we keep giving him medical attention, there's a good chance he might fully recover. No, that's good. Leave him there.
Yeah.
Leave him
Yeah.
there.
Leave him crippled.
And the way how he went up to Hector to gloat in Breaking Bad, your entire family is dead, and Joaquin and this and that.
You're the
He
last one left.
he is
You will die with your whole family.
he is cruel. And then
Yeah.
the switch up where, he's a mild mannered businessman to, I will kill your son, I will kill your wife, I will kill your infant daughter.
That
Damn.
scene is terrifying.
He was the only person who had Walter White freaking out.
Killing Victor has to be one of the most like unexpected scenes I've ever watched. Like he just walks out. I'm not. You don't know what he's doing. He's just putting on a. I thought he was gonna cook or something.
Get back
That's
to
what
work.
my initial. Yeah, yeah. He
Dude.
slits the guy's throat like it's nothing. Walks upstairs, get back to work, and leaves.
I've talked about it before in that villain series I'm doing on my TikTok about what makes a great villain. And I think Gus has just about everything. Like, he has the depth. I mean, that
Yeah,
his final scene is probably one of the most tragic scenes in the show in Better Call Saul.
yeah,
That scene where
yeah.
he's having the wine and he's enjoying himself. He's having a good time with this guy, and maybe he'll go home with him in a different life, but then he snaps out of it. He
Yep.
realizes the job is not done.
Yeah.
The day may be won, but the job is not done. And he snaps out of it, and he realizes, like, I can't do this. I have no
Yeah.
life outside of my need for
He's
revenge.
he's too dedicated to it.
And it's really sad to watch, man, because you see when was the last time you saw him smile for real? Never.
Only when he's in the restaurant,
No,
just
no, I said for real.
pretending.
A
Oh
real
yeah,
no.
for real. Yeah,
He's
no. That
that's
was
the
the only moment I think.
that is the first genuine smile he ever had. He was having this really nice,
Yep.
delightful conversation with this guy, and they're bonding over wine. And maybe in
Yep.
another world, he goes home with him, and they have a really nice relationship. But this isn't
Yeah.
that world, man. This is he
Yeah.
comes to that realization, like, this isn't for me. I don't deserve this. My life has one purpose, and that is to destroy the cartel. And it's
And that's the genius of like Vince Gilligan and Peter Gould's writing. Like
yeah,
Breaking Bad, they show like life isn't just like it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Like it's not always a happy ending for everybody.
no. And
Yeah.
and I hate to say it, but everybody got what they deserved.
Yeah.
Even our
Yeah,
favorite
they did.
characters like Mike. Mike at the end of the day was a piece of shit, a
He
murderer,
he was.
and
He was. Yeah.
I don't want to get into it, but yes. Who is your number 4?
My number 4 is Logan Roy. Yeah.
That's a great pick, man.
I think like just the depth in his character, the freaking just the evilness of Logan Roy.
He is
Like how
sadistic.
he was menacing, bro.
He is
Like
sadistic.
yeah, many episodes I couldn't like believe like even like my ears, like just what he like the things he would do, the things he would tell his own family, and like how he would
No,
treat everybody.
no, I think you're misunderstanding, bro. Everything he did was for his children, right? Like,
Really?
no, that's what he would always say, like for fake, like
Yeah.
in the interviews. Everything I do is for my children, which is full of shit. But
Yeah,
no,
it's
no,
all for
no,
him.
no. But like, no, man, Logan Roy is diabolical, dude.
Yeah, he is.
He is absolutely diabolical, man. And I think it's just the performance, man. Like the
And I can't believe I was sad at his death. Like even
ah,
how evil he is, I was sad when he
no one
died.
deserves to die alone like that, man.
Yeah.
'Cause instead of being at his son's wedding, he died alone in a plane full of people that did not like him. And the
Yep,
moment
they
he
just wanted.
died, all they could think of was, who's next in power, you know?
Yeah.
But
But I'm sure
that's
he knew that was gonna happen someday.
but that's the thing though. He created his own hell. He started
Yeah.
this, and that's what makes him so compelling, man. He started this endless cycle of trying to please him, trying to reach for power, the backstabbing, doing anything you can to get to the top, being a killer.
Yep.
The culture that he inspired.
Yeah, he'll tear down anyone to get to the top. He doesn't care.
Dude, I've seen countless just like 30-minute video breakdowns of Logan Roy's psyche. He's one of the most fascinating like characters of all time, dude. And
Yes.
I
Like
think
the manipulation, I think in the end of season 1
you're
when he
you're my number
yeah,
one boy.
oh my
My
god,
number
that
one.
scene was so fucked up.
Yep, and how he didn't say it, but he basically told Logan, "You can
He
come into my
blackmailed him.
arms, and we're good."
Yep,
Or maybe he tells everybody that he found where you were,
yep,
And
yep,
and obviously Logan has no choice. You're my number one boy. And then as he's hugging him, he tells his Colin, right, his security guard,
yep.
come get him, get this fucker off me, right? Like it's just like he is just a sick human being, dude.
He is, man.
I don't
He's
want to go.
legendary
I don't
though,
want to go too long on this, but do you think he loved his kids?
to a point.
No.
Yeah,
I think
like I
he
don't
ended.
think he didn't love them, but I think at the same time he loved his business more than that.
I
He loved what he built. That was his real child.
Yeah. Guy was a piece of shit, man.
Yeah,
My number 4 is Lalo. Uh, I do have him over Gus, and
that's surprising.
like this is why like I did the whole villain series thing, man, because I want to go out like show people that you don't need to be this super deep and rich and complex character to be considered like great. Like Lalo, he's
Yeah.
charismatic, he's charming, but he's also fucking terrifying.
Yeah,
Um,
one thing I like to find in a villain is unpredictability.
and that's
Like when you
is
don't know what they're gonna do. That's Lalo. You never know what he's gonna do
he
next.
is the only man who ever had Gus Fring sweating.
Yes.
And
Like terrified, bro.
dude, but the thing about him is he felt unstoppable. And while he may not be book smart, his
Mhm.
intellect is as good as Walter
Yeah.
White's, as good as Gus Fring's. There's different kinds of genius, and the genius of Lalo is special, man. Like he was
Yeah.
tactically a genius. Like he kept up with Mike. Everything Mike threw at him, he was picking up on it and getting past it. Like and Mike's a
Yeah.
genius in his own right. But the thing for me, like I said, is one of the things that separates you from the pack is screen presence, and the screen presence of of Anthony or Tony Dalton as Lalo, dude. Like even when he wasn't on screen, you were scared. Remember the end of season 5, and then for the
Yeah.
first 3 or 4 episodes, we did not see Lalo once in season 6, but the whole time we were
Dude,
like,
I
we were,
was terrified. I
uh,
was terrified for Nacho. I
oh,
thought he was gonna go after Nacho. He never did.
and I thought he was gonna go after Kim or Jimmy. So the entire time I was terrified. Well, I guess not
Yeah.
for Jimmy, but for Kim, right? Because we don't know what
Yeah.
was gonna happen to her, and like we just kept waiting.
That was
And
always the feeling I had. Like since he showed up, I had a feeling he might kill Kim.
yeah, and like
Like especially that scene in the dining room where she starts yelling at him. I thought, dude, he's gonna pull out a gun and just shoot her or
mhm.
something.
And like we kept waiting, and like he felt like I've seen people use this term, an omniscient boogeyman, where he was
Yeah.
everywhere and nowhere at the same time, and you just
Yes.
felt his presence. Like at any moment he was behind the bush, he was behind that car just
The
waiting to
scene
pounce
with
and kill you.
Howard, bro, literally gives me chills every time I watch it. Like
It's a
the
horror scene.
flickering of the flickering of the candle, and then he pops out and he shows Saul. He says, "How?" It gives me
Shh,
freaking chills.
let's talk.
Yes.
Like
Uh,
just like with a big song, let's talk. Like it's like, dude, he
he's
is
so
just,
menacing, bro.
and the way he slaughters that family. Remember that family to
Yeah.
fake his own death, bro.
Yeah.
Like
That
that
that was, and you could
he
tell he kept them there just for that specific reason.
he raised them like cattle or like lamb to a slaughter,
Yeah.
and it's so
Yeah.
sad, bro. But like he is just a psychopath, dude. Like he is, once he gets on a mission, nothing can stop him. And like I
Yeah.
said, that's what it is for me. It's the screen presence, the performance, the charisma, the charm, the way he captivates you, the way he makes you feel. I think sometimes that's
Mm.
better than this super like, oh, he comes from a broken home, and he has Machiavellianism and blah blah blah, all that nerd shit. Like, dude, I'll take
Yeah.
Lalo over 95% of villains, dude. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's my
He's He's legendary.
That's my number 4. Your number 3?
My number three is Gustavo Fring. Like everything we already said about him, just I love Gus.
Uh, I'm
He's
not
he's
gonna
even a
argue.
character I root for, even though he's a villain. Like a lot of times, I had found myself rooting for him sometimes,
When you
just
first
because the pain
watch,
he felt.
when you,
He's like innocent in the episode. He seems
uh,
very like
he's still a meth producer.
that's true, but like
Yeah, I get you. I
I
get you.
mean, you could still
Here's the thing: they made you root for him, and then not root for him at the same time because you rooted for him
yep
against the Salamancas, but when he came up against Walter, it was Walter all the
yeah
way.
yeah
But I do have to say, I think Better Call Saul really brought out just how sadistic he is,
yeah.
how
He
sick,
is freaking. He's
and
sick.
and it makes you wonder, like, what happened. Was he just lying to Mike in Breaking Bad when he said, "I don't believe fear to be an effective motivator"? Look at what he did to Nacho. Like
Yeah,
I actually like genuinely hated Gus because
and that was his motivator to Walter too,
yeah,
was to terrify him.
but like the thing is like the way he just treats people in Better Call Saul, like, why can't we just let Mike's like, the kid did what we asked, we need to let him go. No, let's
Yeah,
keep him around. A
and he
dog who bites the
threatens his
hand,
father.
yeah, a dog who bites the hand of every owner. The proper thing would be to put it down. It's just like Jesus
Yeah,
Christ, man.
I legitimately tear up every time I see that scene where Victor walks into the I think it's a coffee shop or something where his dad is,
Oh,
and
dude,
Nacho, like that scene.
it's so
Like the
sick.
first time I watched it, I think I cried watching that scene. I thought he was
Michael
legitimately about to kill Nacho's dad.
Michael Mondo's so good, bro.
He is.
But
He
it just
is.
shows you how just disgusting and depraved Gus Fring is. Because look, when he says he would kill Walter's daughter, did you believe him? Did you really think he would do that at that time? Take
I
out
think
Better Call Saul. What do you think? Like, how did
I
you
think
feel?
I think after watching him slice Victor's throat, I think he would have. I think he would have done it.
I don't know if he would have done it, man. But after watching Better
Yeah,
Call Saul, yeah, that was the real threat. That was a real
yeah.
threat because killing him is one thing. Is killing Victor is one thing. But what he did to Nacho, holding his father over him, you know what I mean? That's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
I don't think Gus would have done to Jesse what the Nazis did to him, killing the love of his. I don't know if he would. I mean, I guess he would have actually, but
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It yeah. Better Call Saul really made me hate Gus, dude. Any
It
sympathy I had
did.
for him,
It did.
it made me hate
Yeah.
him, dude, because he's just such a despicable piece of shit, dude.
He is,
Um,
dude.
my number 3 is Logan. Logan Roy, man. Logan
Logan
Roy is
Roy.
just everything we said, man. The psychology, the screen presence, the performance, just the absolute depths that he will sink to, like just to get what he wants. The way he
Yes.
manipulates his children, plays them against each other, knows when to show them love to bring them back to his side, but then cast them to the side as soon as he's done with them.
Yes. It's
Um,
just greed. He's just a greedy character, man.
I think there's more to him than that, though. I think there's so many layers to Logan Roy. And then when we
Yeah.
get little hints at his backstory where he held himself responsible for the death of his little sister, he thinks, and
Mhm.
that'll mess you up, man.
Yeah.
And
That
he
was.
how
Yeah.
he
That
was
that was definitely sad
and how he was
to
probably
hear about.
beat as a kid, right? Because you see the
Yeah.
whipping marks on his back, like they give us just enough there to make us wonder of how he ended up the way he did. But he's
Yeah.
just an incredibly fascinating character. We already talked about him, but unfortunately, looks like our top fives might be the same, just a little mix. Who's your number 2?
My number two is Homelander.
Oh,
Yeah. Homelander is, I, dude. I love him, man. He's unpredictable. He's just insane. I mean, he's just absolutely insane
yeah.
because and his but you understand because his backstory, like he got no love. He received no love at all. He
Raised
was
in a
just
lab.
left. That's all he wants is love because he never got it. He never got any of it. So he
Yeah,
wants all of it,
but at the
you
same
know.
time, it's like he's like this really also like another depraved human being, and he's I don't want to say he's racist. He's more what's the word? He sees everybody beneath him who doesn't have
Yeah,
powers. I don't know if that counts as
yeah.
racist or I don't know what the word would be.
And and that makes sense because of what like people told him. Like they told him they called him a god. They said
Yeah,
gods
he's
shouldn't have to deal with that.
he's a
And
child with a complex with all the
yep,
powers of a god, which is just a recipe for
yep.
disaster. Who was never told no, who couldn't be told no. It's just running loose, and
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 how
he.
they show it in that animated episode of I think it's called The Boys Diabolical.
I
They
never
show his
watched it.
backstory.
I never watched
You
it.
never watched it?
No.
I never watched the whole show. I only watched the episode dedicated to Homelander because I just love him. They show like some of his backstory. You got to check it out. It's good.
I'll check
It's
it
so
out.
good.
No, but I mean it, and like you said, like the way he was raised in a lab, all he wanted was a father or a mother just to hold him. But no, man, he is a
Yeah,
commercial product. He's Pepsi, man. He's a Coca Cola, just the best version of a Coca Cola, and he's strutting
yeah,
out there to get shares to get the share price up and he the way he hinges on the love and adoration of the average person. Like,
yeah.
how do you defeat a god? You apparently make memes about him on Twitter until he breaks down. Like
And
he's
he just yeah, like that scene that he says, "I would prefer to be loved, but if I don't have that, being feared is one big okey doke by me."
yeah, which I don't
You
buy.
know.
I don't buy that for a second, dude. I think
Yeah,
if
he
it
says if you take it away from me, I'll destroy everything and everyone. And I
yeah.
think I hope that's it might sound messed up for me to say it, but I want to see it happen. I want to see what would happen if
And
it did happen.
and the thing here is like you imagine um what if these people were real? I mean, Walter would
Yeah,
be pretty dangerous. Logan, obviously. But dude,
yeah,
imagine you if Homelander was real. That is just terrifying. And again, what I said about Lalo, the screen presence, the way he
yeah.
captivates you, you cannot take your eyes off him. Like when he's just standing next to a Starlight, and you feel her anxiety as he just looks at her more and more, and he stops the elevator, and he digs his hand into her chest or whatever, and like it's just like, dude, it's like, doo, doo, doo. You can feel your heart pumping. Like he is one of
It's
those
freaking
characters.
He's
Every
terrifying,
time he
man.
is on screen, I'm like having a panic attack because he is so
Yeah,
mentally unhinged and losing it by the minute that
I
you
can do
said
whatever
you
the
love
fuck I want.
you said it. You love unpredictable characters. It doesn't.
Yep.
Homelander might blow your brains out, or he might not at any
Yeah,
moment.
it doesn't get more unpredictable than that. That guy, he you never know. You never know what he's gonna do anytime he shows up. And like he wants to be a father to his child, I believe that, because he never had a father. So
But
that's one thing
but
like
he doesn't
that
know
I
how.
yeah, I sympathize with him on that part though, because like he just I think they should have showed him love. He should have been raised in a home, with a
Yeah.
family.
Um. All right. Well, my number two is I went back and forth on this, but ultimately I have Walter White as my number two villain, or actually more appropriate to call him Heisenberg. Um.
Yep.
Walter. When would you say he becomes an outright villain? Season 5 or season 4? I think season
I'd
5
say
for sure.
probably I think season 4, the ending of season 4
Cause he
when it shows the
bombed a
lily of the
nursing home.
valley.
Well, oh, that's right, dude.
Yeah, yeah. That moment is just oh my god, it blew my freaking head off when I saw that. I was just
And
like,
oh,
what?
dude, Walter is
He
so
poisoned that kid?
disgusting. Like when you're watching season 5 and the way he's acting, like his ego
Yeah.
just starts spiraling immediately. And like
Yeah.
when Mike's saying like, I'm out, Walter. Sure you are. I'm serious, Walter. I'm out. Right, right. No, you're
Yeah.
not. Like it's like the way his ego manifests, and I think one of the most villainous, disgusting, and just evil things I have ever seen, movies or television, is in Ozymandias. After
Oh yeah.
Pinkman, where is he? And he gets him, and he
I
sentences
watched Jane die.
he sentences Jesse to die. It's terrible enough.
Yes.
The gun to his head. Wait. And I watched Jane die. I could
Yeah.
have saved
And when
her.
he says wait, you think, oh, he's gonna save him. He's not gonna let him kill him. No, he walks up and he just wants to torture him. He wants him to feel just
Because
absolute pain.
Jesse, I think Jesse was at peace. He looked up,
Yeah.
he saw the bird, he closed his eyes, and Walter's like, no,
Yep.
he is not gonna go out like that. And like
Yep.
I watched her, I could have saved her, but I didn't. And he just leaves, and you see the evil in his eyes and the hatred, and
Yes.
it's like Ozymandias is one of the most
Dude,
villainous
that
stretches in
episode,
history,
I was a mess.
dude.
Yes, I was a mess watching that episode, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, I cried. I got angry. It was just a roller coaster.
and like he fought his wife with a knife, and
Yeah,
and then like just like, what are you doing? We're supposed to be a family, and then it finally hits him right there, a family, and he realizes what he's become.
he
But like,
destroyed his whole home. Yeah, his whole
yeah,
family.
I think the thing that holds him back for me is like, as a villain, his peak is probably the highest out of anybody ever, but he was only really an
Yeah.
outright villain for like a season. But that season, my God, dude,
Oh my god.
everything that goes down was literally his fault. Like when they thought it was Gale, but his ego couldn't accept someone taking credit for his work, so he pretty much
Yeah.
let Hank know, he kind of looked like an imposter to me. I don't know. Or no, was that in season 4?
I
But
think that was in season. I think that was in season 4.
yeah, well, either way, when they're having wine
Yeah.
and Hank is kind of like, well, the case is over, and it's just like, and the way he freaking, dude,
And you get why, because the whole thing with Gretchen and Elliot, how he never got
credit.
appreciation like them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like, what was I gonna say, dude? He threatened Hank. If you really think I am the person that you claim I am, and I'm capable of all these things, my best advice for you would be to tread lightly.
Tread
Like,
lightly.
bro.
Yes.
And then that recording he made to the cops about like how Hank was a mastermind, dude.
It's insane how perfect that was. Like everything he said, I almost believed it, even though I knew it wasn't true. Like it's just insane how everything fits so
Yeah.
perfectly with what he said.
But yeah, in terms of like peak villainy, I think the highest peak I've ever seen is Walter, man.
He's so genius. Like even okay, this is another scene we haven't mentioned. The scene when Jesse comes to kill him
oh, and
because he finds out that he poisoned Brock.
how he manipulates him the entire time,
Yes,
dude.
that scene's like one of my favorite
But
in
at
the whole show.
time, you don't. Okay, this is obviously getting off track, but we didn't know that at the time that he poisoned Brock, so we really weren't sure. But then when you're rewatching that, right, you're literally
Yeah.
watching him give a performance to Jesse and manipulating
Right.
him. Like, he is so diabolical, dude. One of the greatest manipulators of all time.
Yes.
But yeah, he's my number 2, and your number 1 is
And
Walter?
how he says it's genius. Think about it.
Yeah,
He's just stroking his own ego. Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
he's such a chode, man. And I'm assuming your number 1, Walter.
My number 1 is Walter. Yep.
Yeah, my number 1's Homelander.
All right. Well, we switched between them.
Dude,
So our top 5 was the exact same.
yeah, we just had different places. So mine is Homelander, Walter, Logan, Lalo, and Gus.
Yep.
People are gonna say we're biased, like, oh, having 3 characters from the BRB universe. I don't care, bro. Try to find better villains than them. I dare you.
Yeah, like
And I
some
have
of the best
Homelander
characters
over all
of the
of them.
whole universe.
I had Logan over 2 Breaking Bad characters, and honestly, I might have him over Walter depending on the day, depending on my rewatch.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think we should do a whole segment dedicated to just Breaking Bad characters
we should
one of these days. Just our like top 5 or top 10.
That's hard, man. That's really hard.
It is.
All right, well, those are our top 5 villains, guys. I know there's some we probably missed. What are some honorable mentions for you? For me, Tony Soprano.
Sopranos. Yeah, Tony Soprano. Richie Aprile.
Yeah, I thought Richie was okay, but I mean,
I thought he was he intimidated me, man. Like and they bring him out to be like they mean to do this. Like he's supposed to be like this terrifying tough guy. Yeah, like insane. The
Um,
scene, like the jacket, that scene,
yeah, yeah.
like the undertones that
20
he's
years
telling
in a
him, like,
can.
yeah,
That's Phil, I know, but he just makes me laugh. I
yeah,
ate grilled cheese off the radiator. I compromised. No, yeah, Tony Soprano definitely belongs there. Just off the top of my head, Soldier Boy, not like one of the 10 best, but Soldier Boy is really good. A lot of other
yeah,
characters, they're more like antagonists, so they don't count as villains. Like Chuck McGill, one of the
yeah.
best,
I
easily.
was debating if he was a villain or not. He's so
No,
good
a
though.
lot a lot of characters are just really good antagonists, man. But
Yeah,
and then if we're counting other things like movies, like obviously Darth Vader and all this, there's so many great characters out there. But anyways, yeah,
yeah.
man, that's our list. It's good to be back. It's good to be recording. Thank you
Mhm.
to everybody who tunes in to watch us. Hopefully, we'll be back on to putting out weekly episodes. I have some
Yes.
guests who hopefully they can come on in the next couple weeks so we can get some good discussions going. But thank you everybody for watching. It's good to see you, Wyatt. Happy birthday. I know your birthday just passed not too long ago.
Thank you.
Did you get shit faced?
No.
No.
I drink a little,
Oh, okay.
not much.
Happy birthday,
Yeah.
bro. I'm sure it feels good to be 15. So,
Yeah.
yeah. All right, man. Well, I'll catch you guys later. Thank you everybody for watching.